And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to, oops, I'm bumping everything around my desk here. Welcome to another episode of the Signposts. This is our last episode on YouTube, and starting next week, we'll be moving on into Rumble. So I'm happy to spend this last Signposts on YouTube week with you, as we are going to be just doing some viewer-based topics and taking some Q&A as well too. Might be a bit of a short episode today. We might just go about an hour 15. Okay. So again, just getting you guys ready for the Signposts when it launches on Rumble next week. Okay, so that is on January 4th, 2024. It will be live and uncensored. You can also find the link to the Signposts on Rumble in the video description as well too. Okay, so you can join me on Rumble, or again, you can just go onto the Signposts, you can go onto Rumble, type in the Signposts, Brad Johnson, and you should see my channel there as well too. That's another easy way of doing it. But I'm looking forward to it migrating over to Rumble because I'll have a lot more information to share where it will not be under censorship. So I'm looking forward to that. So that is happening next week on January 4th. And again, airtime is at 10 a.m. Pacific, so exact same time as today. And we do have the upcoming interview here for Janine. So Tarot by Janine will be on the New Earth Teachings interviews. And this is happening January 5th. So it'll be the day after the new rollout of the Signposts on Rumble. So that is happening January 5th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you go to my YouTube posts, if you go to my posts on YouTube, you'll find the direct link there. After the recording, I will put the direct link onto the video description as well too. I don't believe it's on there right now, but you'll find it on the video recording of this week's episode of the Signposts. I'll also be sharing this a second time with tomorrow's broadcast when I go into New Earth TV Live as well. Okay, and another announcement.
Source Energy enhanced products to repair and rejuvenate the body. From the power of light to crystals to bed kits, card decks, and more. View our free samples, tutorials, and testimonials on our website, Aetherx.co.
Okay, so we also have a new promo code. Promo code is New Year's 20. Okay, and you get 20% off your order. And this is good until the end of day on January 1st. So we have some new products that have come. The eye masks are now available. We also got an update. We got more batches of the Universal Organite Pyramids. That is also available. We got the Aetherx socks. We got the Source laser pens. We got the Source flashlights. So there's a lot of great stuff that has come in. Finally, it's taken quite a while for all that to come in. And then I'm also working on getting the Source Super Light, okay, which is a much more bigger flashlight. That should probably be coming around February, I would say. I'm also working on creating a Source Aetherx massage mat. Okay, so an Aetherx Source massage mat is currently in the works as well too. So it's basically a very big, beautiful massage mat where you can, again, look at different levels of massage. It also has infrared, near-infrared technology, heat as well too, and it's all charged with the Source Center vibration. So there is nothing like that on Earth. So that's going to be really exciting once we start getting that rolling. I'm getting a prototype sent to me just to check it out to make sure everything is good. Once the prototype is approved, then we start getting the deliveries going. Now this may be closer to around springtime when that will be rolling out because it will take some time. So I'm getting quite a few of them ready to go. They're going to be shipped directly to my affiliate warehouse, and that should probably be around March or April. Around March or April that will be ready. But with the new flashlights, the super lights, they should be ready again around the time of February. So looking forward to those two brand new products. I'm also looking to get maybe like a hand massager as well too, and radiating that with the Source Center vibration as well, because vibration, physical vibration, is extremely powerful when you're putting that into the body, because that's going into very, very, very deeper penetration. That is radiating the Source Center vibration exponentially as you're working with physical vibration technology. So looking forward to that too. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So private sessions are available. Distance healing sessions, 3-question sessions by email, full body Source healing sessions. Okay, this is all available. I do have quite a bit of bookings right now as I get started in January and February. If you guys want to have something more right away, then what I would suggest is just going to my fiance's website as well too. It's trinityhomehealing.com. Okay, that's Trinity Home, Home, healing.com. And she's also doing distance healing sessions as well too. And she has pretty much an open schedule right now. And Brienne is a phenomenal healer as well too. So if you don't want to wait for me, and if you want to get a healing done right away, go talk to Brienne. Again, website is trinityhomehealing.com. That's TRINITYHOME and healing, HEALING.com. And check her out. She does feng shui, she does distance healing, and she's also going to be doing some tarot card readings here very soon. And she's also very good at that as well too. So she's really opening herself up. She's helping people. She wants to build a good client base. So I want to help out my partner. So again, if you want to join her and look into a distance healing that's available now, check out her website. Okay, let's go down further to the final announcement. Everything on the New Earth Teachings channel here is backed up onto Odyssey. Okay, odyssey.com/@New Earth Teachings. Everything is backed up there, so you can follow us along on our Odyssey channel as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with today's broadcast. So hello everybody, thank you for joining me. I know we've already got I think 1 or 2 donations already. So thank you for that, guys. So again, if you do donate, that will put you first in line in regards to, or I would say priority sequence. That'll put you in priority sequence of the question that you have for me, okay? And we do have one here from Eve. So we're going to start off the broadcast today with Eve's question. So Eve, thank you for your donation. And Eve says, here's my tarot, just in case I forget. Hello, Brad. Question: will the phenomena of empty buildings include hospitals, universities that participate in the illness and cure crimes? So how about we take a look at that through the tarot, okay? And we're looking to the idea of empty buildings. Will it include hospitals and universities that participated in CV19? Right? We can say CV19. I'm pretty sure that's okay. So basically, if they participated in CV19, are we going to have empty, the phenomena of empty buildings, right? Will that be included with hospitals and universities from the empty buildings that have been talked about? Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, I would say it's a confirmation of that, yes. Universities, hospitals, okay. But I feel like, again, this is just all part of a plan. It was just all part of something that needed to signify, again, what was happening on the plan. I'm not too sure if you're referring to the past, right? In the past, relating to when we've had nearly empty hospitals and universities as well too, or is it still including it, or places that are still having COVID, or basically CV19 situations and protocols? Is it leading to the inclusion of hospitals and universities that participated? And the answer is yes. Okay, so again, we saw a major shutdown happening here, universities and hospitals included as well too, right? So this is the idea of like the hospital right here and people being cast out, right? So this was, again, all part of a propagated plan. It was all part of an agenda, all part of a scheme, right? But like I said, it's been foiled. It really has been foiled. And this is something that is going to lead into, again, an earth-shattering exposure. I feel like we're going to be getting some exposures because there's already a very large worldwide lawsuit that's already happening. A lot of lawyers and doctors have already teamed up. And they're basically looking to sue a lot of the governments of the world for participating with this. They're basically looking to bring the onslaught onto any corporations that were a part of this in regards to, again, the unjust nature of shutting all these places down. But it also includes hospitals and universities, right? So it has caused a lot of pain in the world. But like I said, even if we're looking at the spilt milk here, we have 3 other cups that we're not seeing, okay? So this, again, just reminds, turn your head. Even though this has been a tragic situation, look at what's happening with you, right? You cannot see the forest for the trees, right? Remember to turn your head because a lot of counteraction is being done to assist. And basically, like I said, this is leading into an action era. This is really where we're going to be leading and looking into some major exposure, because this has not been forgotten. Right? They're trying to sweep a lot of that stuff under the rug and say, oh, forget about COVID, blah, blah, blah. No, right? People are definitely standing up for this and saying we're not going to be fooled by government nonsense anymore. And so there's certainly a big standing up that is taking place regarding this. So again, I can't say too much about it because still on YouTube, still on censorship, all right? But basically in that sense, don't just see the forest for the trees, right? See the bigger picture, see everything that's happening, because this is all leading into a karmic turnaround. And that's what's taking place. But to answer your question, yes, hospitals and universities were included and did participate in that altogether, okay? Thank you very much, Eve, for your question. All right, just going down the list here a bit more. Let's go to the top. Okay, this is a very interesting question here from MLK. MLK says, hi Brad, could you, what is this zombies virus happening to deer in the US and Canada? Should we be concerned? I'm not aware of any zombie virus happening to deer, so I'll have to kind of Google it here for a second. Okay, deer zombie virus disease. I guess I can type that in. Canada. Okay. Fight against zombie deer disease. Okay, well, here we go again. Right? COVID, monkeypox, the different variances of COVID, and now deer zombie virus. Oh my God. Okay. Here we go, right? This is exactly how they get you guys with stupidness like this. So let's take a look here. I'm just going to go right to the cards. I'm going to just do what I can not to laugh and take care of this. Okay? Here they go again. This is nothing that's genuine, my friends. This is all part of, guys, any kind of weird, surreal, completely out of shape type of virus that they give you is all manufactured in a laboratory. These are laboratories, right? Weren't they blaming the COVID on orangutans or monkeys or bats or something like that, right? And here's something from deer. Here's deer zombie virus, and it's going to create a zombie apocalypse. We're all in trouble. Right? This is nothing but a scam. This is nothing but a sham. This is nothing but a bunch of BS. Okay, but we're going to look at the cards anyways and take a look at this, right? So where is this deer zombie disease going? Where is it headed? What is its progression forward? Okay, we'll take a look at this. Like, it just never ceases to amaze me at how stupid they are. Right? It really never ceases to amaze me at all. Okay, let's take a look. You're gonna be running away from zombie deer, right? Unbelievable. Okay. So just give me a moment here as I'm just putting the cards down here. I'm getting similar things as well too. I think they're going to try and make a big deal out of this, but it's not going to fool anybody really, right? It's like people have said that there's probably another virus that's cooking in the background and they're trying to push it forward, but I don't think it's going to get that head full of steam. Like I said, they were trying for monkeypox, they were trying for the different variances of COVID, and all of that fell on its head. And this is going to fall on its head as well too, from what I'm sensing here. So this is definitely something. So we have the King of Cups representing the zombie deer disease, right? Is that what you call it? Zombie deer disease? Right? So we have kind of an emotional card here representing the Knight of Cups, right? So something is trying to usher its way in, okay? But people are going to be such on the defensive that if they even try to, the whole idea is there's many countries right now that won't even allow a shutdown like what happened previously to happen anymore, okay? Do I feel like this is going to lead into some sort of shutdown? They're going to try and spin it that way, but I don't think that's going to happen, okay? I just think that this is something that they're just starting to inch in on and now say, okay, watch out for zombie deers. And watch out for humans turning to zombies. So I think they're going to turn on Michael Jackson's Thriller, and they're going to have a bunch of people that are in the zombie mode and trying to spin that into a news story, okay? So this is, again, has been their past. This is, again, all part of desperation. Like I said, guys, this is what I mean. They are always going to reach for the lowest hanging fruit. There is no low road that they have not taken, and they will continue to do this. People just aren't going to buy it. I just don't see people doing that, right? But this may lead to, again, them trying to shut things down. They may try to shut things down again because of a zombie deer disease, okay? Well, we can put an end to this right now, right? We can stop this right now. And all of that requires is just simply thought action, thought intention, right? Our country is not going to be not going to be shut down because of a stupid zombie deer disease, right? Our world is not going to be shut down because of a stupid zombie deer disease that again is cooked up in a laboratory, and again another false flag agenda is coming together. So the fact that they're peddling this in Canada and that they're peddling this in the United States particularly, right, basically shows that those are the two countries that they are targeting, right? So, like I said, it's going to be maybe something that will cause concern to the normies, so to speak, right, the sleepers. But like I said, they're missing all of this here. So again, are we looking for a repeat of COVID? I don't think so. But they're going to try and spin it that way. They're going to try and make a very big deal out of this. They're going to try and push it. They're going to try and urge people to stay in your homes and make sure you stay away from these certain spots. And here's symptoms that will come from zombie deer disease, right? But like I said, we have an opportunity to end all of this right now. Exactly what we did for CV-19. It's exactly what we can do here, right? And all it requires is thought intention, right? So again, look into your thoughts, look into your support, look into your heart. Send those thoughts out, plant new seeds, right? I don't feel like this is going to take off like CV-19 did, okay? But they are going to try. They're really, really going to try. And you just need to be aware of that. And this is nothing but complete and total nonsense. But they're going to try and spin it. So just be aware of that. Now they're getting into zombie stuff, right? And like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they're trying to do. Is just trying to put a watch out because you'll turn into a zombie, right? You'll start feasting on brains, right? And then all of a sudden Michael Jackson's Thriller is happening. You can't help but do this. Okay. And maybe that's what they're going to start doing on CNN. Oh, hang on, I got the zombie disease. Oh, it's Thriller. What am I going to do? So just be mindful of that. Like I said, just put your thought intention out. Let's crush this before it even starts. And that would be my suggestion, okay? You don't have to do the slow Thriller with me, it's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on past these nonsense intentions of false flags that they're trying to do. Well, okay. No more slow Thriller, right? All right, let's go down the list here a little bit more. Okay, this is from NP. Hi, Brad. In Portugal, we are going to have elections in March of next year. Can Adronis please give us perspective if anything would change, please? Well, I don't think you need Adronis for this, okay? Just honestly, I don't think you do, right? We can basically check the cards on this, all right? So in Portugal, we're going to have elections in March of next year. So just seeing if there's going to be a significant change taking place with this election. Like I said, I think the tarot is better suited for this, all right? Because then you guys can see it for yourself rather than just me or Jonas talking about it, okay? So let's check the cards on this and see. So about Portugal and elections next year, will anything be changing? Absolutely, things will be changing, but let's take a little bit more about what is coming through with that change, okay? Dear zombie virus, that just cracks me up. All right. I'm the first one on the card here to say, okay, that is the stupidest thing I ever heard. Zombie deer virus, zombie deer disease. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay. All right, here. So, I'm almost finished here. Just give me a second. It certainly looks like a time of great celebration, okay, for Portugal. And it feels like, again, there will be some diversions to focusing on the election for people in that sense that actually have a little bit more integrity and a little bit more ethics to themselves, right? So this is representing a change around, okay? So from what I've gathered for 2024, where countries themselves are bringing in elections, it is going to signify incredible change, okay? And this card basically verifies that altogether, okay? So then we have the Knight of Wands, right? So this is a fire card. This is getting things going. It's burning down the old establishment, okay? So Portugal, I feel, is going to be going through significant changes. Will it mean that their new leader is not corrupt or something like that? I don't think they will be, because I think that the times are changing, and I don't think corrupt leaders are going to be allowed into power anymore. And I would say that would be the norm pertaining to many different countries. So if your country is basically holding an election in 2024, there's going to be some major exposures that are going to follow. There's going to be some truth kabooms that are going to follow with that. Okay, so this is the past. So it feels like they're starting to bring something in, or bringing leaders in that actually have that particular type of integrity, or maybe someone close to a clean slate, or at least a slate that is leading into something promising, right? So, but there's going to be scandals. Okay, there's going to be scandals. There's going to be smear campaigns. There's going to be, again, the corrupt trying to swindle this and try to break out this election, try to break it apart. Okay, but in the near future, this is showing that that's not going to work anymore. That we pretty much have already seen this old situation about them trying to take their wretched hand and put it into the cookie jar and try to take out all of these cookies that are basically going to try to get them into office. Okay, and I do not see that happening. Right, I feel like there's going to be Portugal may also be going through some very severe cleanups. Okay, like I said, I think there may be some truth kabooms that are going to be happening for Portugal. So what is the advice? Good times ahead for that election. Okay, celebration ahead for you. Okay, so NP, what I'm seeing here from what the cards are telling me is that it looks like very good times are ahead for Portugal. Okay, for the 2024 year. I think we're leaving that old world behind right now. The world does not trust its governments. It just doesn't. Okay, and I could basically get quite a few citizens from quite a few different countries, and they would all say the same thing. Do you trust your government? Do you believe your government has your best interest in mind? Hell no, not a chance. We want them gone. Okay, and we could basically say that from a great amount of people from different countries, pretty much all saying the same thing in their own appropriate language. No, we do not trust the government. We need a change. We need transformation to take place here. It is going to lead into a powerful shift, and we're taking all of those walls down, right? So that's what I'm getting. So I think for Portugal, it's going to be moving into a very positive shift as we go into 2024, and great change is indeed afoot for Portugal. All right, that's what I'm getting. And that's why I wanted to show this with you guys, because Adronis and I can talk about it, but really I want you to see the cards, right? I want you to see exactly what I'm getting, right? That's why I wanted to give you the card reading for it instead. Okay? Thank you, NP. So like I said, guys, for signposts, we're just making sure that we're just sticking to current event, or again, similar to current event relevant topics, okay? I know some people have metaphysical questions, and I love those, of course, but you gotta save those for Friday, okay? This is really just involving current events and relevancy surrounding current events, okay? That's what the signpost is all about. Okay, so let's go to Petra. Petra says, question, will Germany's strong agree agenda? Strong agree agenda. I don't know what that means. Will Germany's agenda fall down in 2024? Maybe we can basically put it like that. I don't know what you mean by strong agree. Okay. I'm seeing myself on the camera here doing the slow thriller, so I think my video is lagging a bit. Okay, it's distracting me for a minute. Anyways, Petra, yes, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at Germany's agenda, right? Basically looking at their idea of their chaotic agenda, right? Will Germany's chaotic agenda fall in 2024? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay. Well, I think Germany still needs a little bit of exposure first, okay? I think you guys are getting there, but the best way I can put it, you guys need to get more mad, okay? I don't think you guys are angry enough yet, okay? So basically this is telling me that, yes, it's going to lead to certain changes, but there needs to be a little bit more action. There needs to be a little bit more resistance towards what's happening pertaining to that, okay? So it's kind of saying, yes, there is, but there needs to be a little bit more work done, okay? So there needs to be a little bit more action from the people, right? The people really need to push this a little bit more. You're getting there, but I think that you just need to push things a little bit more, and maybe that'll come around the end of 2024, okay? So we have the Queen of Pentacles here as well too. So again, this is representing material gain. This is representing, again, the nature of the Queen. So we're going to see kind of a feminine uprising, people learning to listen to their intuition, pertaining to the material side of things, new government, finances, okay, material gains. So that is coming for Germany, okay. Page of Wands is behind the scenes. It's kind of like, say, okay, people, you got to start picking up the staff. You got to hold up your power, right? So if we have the Page of Wands here, it's the beginning of new action, okay? And I think that that's really would signify the nature of what Germany is going through, okay? Because deep state is still running Germany, okay? And that needs to change, okay? So there is going to be a complete and total taking down of this, but deep state is still running Germany, okay? So that, again, needs to be taken down. So I think we're going to see more of those kind of crumbling walls falling in 2024. Is it going to be a complete and total crumbling of it? I don't know if it's a complete and total crumbling for Germany, but I think it's going to be leading in that direction, okay? We just have to see. We have to kind of see exactly what 2024 brings. But I'd say potentially, yes, there's going to be a lot of crumbling down. I don't know if it'll be a crumbling down of the entire wall, but it'll certainly be crumbling down of the majority of it, okay? We just have to kind of keep an eye on it as we go through the year of 2024 for Germany and see how things go, perhaps month by month, okay? But it's looking pretty good. There just needs to be a little bit more fire, right? Needs to be a little bit more fire for the people of Germany to look into that a little bit more, okay? Thank you, Petra. Okay. Right, Reba says, hi, Brad. Will we see those held accountable anytime soon that have pushed the lies regarding C and the experimental? I'm seeing so many still being injured, and it is heartbreaking. It's working in that direction, but like I said, this is a very, very slow process, and this is what I've said in the past as well too. Yes, right, the whole idea is that there's exposures, but there's just so much, right? If this was just one simple organization that was doing such things, it wouldn't be such a long process. But you're looking at pretty much the majority of corporations, the majority of institutions, the majority of governments all across the world that have participated in this. This is a very large laundry list, right? You're looking at hospitals, you're looking at hospital administrations that have participated in this, you're looking at medical boards that have participated in this, you're looking at law firms that have participated with this, you're looking at entertainment corporations that are participating with this, you're looking at news media that's participating with this. Do you see what I mean? You have all of these suspects. And that's not just going to be like a snap of the finger and everything's going to be done. Things are certainly going to be exposed, certain things are going to certainly be taken down, but it's going to take time, right? There's a lot of people that are responsible for this, and it is going to take time to rally everything up because it's really just going to be going through court systems. Unfortunately, court systems are slower than a sloth taking a dump, okay? And that's really what's happening, okay? And this is probably going to be something that's going to be playing out for the next few years, okay? So my honest feeling on that is that you're not really going to see accountability come into a conclusion probably as we get closer to the end of the decade, okay? Like I said, there's going to be a lot of exposures taking place. Really, I think what's going to be crumbling here is the political arena in 2024. Particularly, I'm referring to more of the Western side, okay? Canada and the US. And there may be some here in the East, all right, that may also see some of that crumbling happen. Like I said, Portugal could also be one. If you guys have elections, like I said, you're probably going to notice significant changes taking place during that time, right? More truth kabooms, right? I'm not calling them BOMBs, okay? More truth kabooms that are going to take place, more exposures that are going to happen. And like I said, accountability. Well, we basically have had accountability in 2023, right? There has been quite a bit of accountability. But again, it's often led to the state of denial, right? It needs to be accountability where it really can't be fought, right? It's just something that's undeniable. So I would refer to it as not just accountability, but undeniable accountability, okay? And undeniable accountability in regards to its fruition and culmination would probably be more closer to the end of the decade, okay? It's going to take a few years before we see the culmination of this accountability take place, okay? That's just what the 2020s represent, my friends, okay? It is all about the idea of cleanup. It is all about the idea of getting out the mops and the buckets and the broom and dustpan and just cleaning everything up, okay? And going into the garden and ripping out these nasty roots and letting the momentum and inertia continue forward to help clearing away all of these scandals, okay? It is an enormous list. Fortunately, the counter forces are quite large, but again, it's still so much stuff. And I really don't see all of this culminating until about the end of the decade, okay? As much as I would love to say, oh guys, it'll be done this year. No. Okay? A lot of stuff is going to happen in 2024. We're going to see a lot of nails in the coffin, and I think we're probably going to start to see that coffin lowering down into that gigantic pit. It's more than 6 feet under. Like I said, I think it's more like 66 feet under. So that's where I feel things are going. All right, so thanks for your question. Okay, so I have one here from EUM142. I think I have two from him. Okay. EUM142 says, hi Brad, is it safe to say that, and thanks for your donation, that we will never have restrictions on our rights and freedoms going forward, whether it's with carbon passports or whatever? That's what's trying to happen, right? That's what's trying to be brought out right now. But like I said, guys, you still have a menacing mainstream media, okay? There still is a lot of control agendas. Like I said, they're trying to make a deer apocalypse. They're trying to make a deer zombie disease, guys, okay? It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Okay, watch out for deer zombies. Are you guys cracking up the same that I am? Right? Can you not see the absurdity of that? That's what they're still creating, right? Watch out for deer zombies. Deer zombie disease, because what's happening if a human catches it, right? It's the stupidest thing. They're still doing this crap, right? Is it going to fly? I don't think it's going to fly, right? They're going to try, though. They are going to try to make it work, but it's not. Just no one is paying attention to the news. No one is paying attention to the politicians. No one is paying attention to their governments. That all represent the old status quo, okay? And that represents the old status quo. Do you see, again, bullshit like that is still happening, okay? As much as we would love to say that, that we will never have restrictions on ourselves again, that's trying to happen, right? We're attempting to make that happen. The people, the world, like I said, that are coming together. And what makes this quicker, guys, is when you're all working together, right? This is what I talk about is the nature of authenticity is working with the heart, because the heart is the path to that authenticity, right? And if you guys start working together heart to heart, you're going to see this go through very quickly. But people are still struggling with themselves, right? There's a lot of people that have awoken, that's right. There's a lot of people that are seeing this and they've had enough of the government, they've had enough of the whole charade that they're doing, and that's good, but there still needs to be more steps ahead. It involves cooperation of people. It's not about getting on the internet and fighting over each other with ridiculous opinions, right? And thinking that one person knows better than the other. So the attempt right now is to clear out all of the riffraff that have been on this planet that basically instigate all these things, that basically jeopardizes human rights, that jeopardizes freedom privileges in going forward. That's the jeopardy. That's the cancer, okay? And people are being called in to protect your planet, right? Come in to protect your people. Come in to protect your life. Come in to protect the planet. That's what's trying to happen, okay? We cannot do this alone. We cannot do this with the few. This has to be done by the many. And so, yes, people are seeing that they're waking up, that they're not trusting these things anymore, and that's great. But there still needs to be a couple more steps ahead that we have to take, because that is really what the entire people of the planet want. They want to be able to walk on this earth without feeling that some sort of corruption or some type of injustice or unfairness is preventing them from living their lives. When people now start to realize that, they're going to work together, okay? But people still aren't there yet, right? They're still, having to work with other people, I don't know. And this is what's going to happen through events. Events are basically going to light a fire under your butt that is so incredibly hot that you will work with other people, okay? Because if we're still getting people that are dwindling here, it's exactly why these events are happening, my friends. People are very stubborn. Okay, and as much as they are waking up, as much as they say, the government's BS and political agenda is all BS and the finances are all BS and all these taxes are BS. Okay, that's great that you're seeing that, but you still need to move up here. You need to work with your fellow men, women, and children. Okay, and it needs to be cross-cultural. This needs to be international. This needs to be all over the world, where people are kind of just lighting a torch and saying, we are with you. We stand together. We are with you. We stand together. And the only way that's going to happen is when you guys start seeing more severe events. When you start seeing more of these severe events, lighting a fire under your ass and really standing up and working together with people through a common cause. Like I said, the bare minimum here is just thought action, right? Is working with that strong intended thought. That's a great thing, okay? But again, people still need to be pushed even a little bit further than that, where they're going to, again, want to just stand with people. They support people that are doing certain things, okay? So maybe a person in Canada is noticing that someone in the UK or a group in the UK is standing up against the oppressive nature, and they are showing their support, right? That's what I mean. That's taking the next step. You have each other's backs. You got to do this, okay? And if you don't, your freedoms are going to get messed with. Your rights are going to get messed with. Your privileges are going to get messed with because nobody's really standing guard, right? We can just go onto the mainstream media, says the corrupt, and just put whatever the heck we want on there, and we'll get people in fear in about 15 minutes. There's no guard that is preventing that from happening. That's got to change. I can go on a political platform and start talking about all these bills that we can just start running here and just start messing with people's lives a lot more, increase, put more tax hikes, etc. here on that. And there's no guard that prevents that from happening. Do you see what I'm saying? We are leaving all of these things unattended because we have relied through our own, cockiness, right? Our own complacency, thinking that the government's going to take care of it. Nothing is attended to. Person can go on the air and throw a bunch of crap at and get people in fear in 15 minutes. That is completely unguarded. Politician can work together with their team, create all these bills, create tax hikes. That is completely unguarded. Okay? All of these rules, all of these bylaws can be created and done. And again, there is no protection from that. That is what has to change. Right? So that is exactly what is looking to happen here, is that we need to create certain countermeasures, right? Counter safeties, so that these particular areas that have been vulnerable and just open. It's kind of like looking at the internet, right? Where you have a computer and there's no antivirus software, there's no firewall, and you just get all these hackers just coming in, trying to take over your computer, and they can do it because you have no protection. There is nothing that prevents them from doing that. Okay? And that's basically what's happening, is that Earth is building up a new immune system. Earth is building up an antivirus. Earth is building up a powerful firewall, right? To help keep these particular parasitical beings from taking over a lot of these establishments and just throwing all this fear on you, because that's really what's causing these problems, right? They just come in here and they manipulate and they rip things apart, and they will continue to spread falsities and lies, right? And innuendo and propaganda and false agendas and psyops, etc. And there's no safety against that. And that EUM 142 is exactly why your rights and your freedoms are not safe. Because you don't have a fail-safe. Because you don't have a safeguard. Because you don't have any particular type of protection that is preventing these things from happening. And they will continue to happen until those safeguards are up. And that's what's being worked on right now, right? And like I said, it could be late 2020s, could be early 2030s, before maybe we start seeing those safeguards up, right? So we're seeing countermeasures that people just can't go on the air through these mainstream media sites, through social media, and start throwing all this crap at people, getting them in fear in 15 minutes. That's got to stop. That's got to change. Okay? So that is exactly what is trying to happen right now. Once that happens, then yes, you can basically say that the idea of your rights and freedoms and privileges are actually going to be honored, because you're actually looking at people who have an authority who actually respect those things. Because again, the ones that are currently in charge have absolutely no respect. If it was up to them, they would rip those things apart and burn them and not look back, but they can't, right? They would burn up your constitutions, they would burn up your charters, they would burn up your Bill of Rights, they would burn up everything that represents the nature of constitutional or charter-based law, and they would eat it for breakfast. But they can't. They can't touch it, right? And people have to remember these things. You have to look into these ledgers. You have to look into these things that basically represent the establishment of your country, so that you are now understanding, yes, safeguards need to be taken place, because they're basically just starting to throw all these things aside because people are uneducated, right? And that's basically how the corrupt see you. You're just a bunch of uneducated minions. You don't know your laws. You don't know your rights. You don't know in that sense about how your country was established. And so we can walk all over you because you're an uneducated minion. You're a pawn that we can knock over like that, and you're nothing to us. Okay? That's how the chaotic, the corrupt see you. So, how about you guys start getting educated about looking about how your country was founded? How about you guys start getting educated and looking into all of the documentation that has made your country what it is, and that you guys are now organically starting to become these countermeasures, these safeguards, the true counter forces for that, right? That's something that I can share with you about that. All right, thank you for your question. Okay, so EUM has another question here, another donation-based question. What's the momentum ahead for much of the third world countries like Cuba and Dominican Republic to elevate themselves to first world quality of life? They have to get the corrupt leaders out, all right? You have to understand that these are dictatorships, and they're run together by dictators. And the people are going to basically have to overthrow them, okay? They're basically going to have to be overthrown. There's going to be the idea where there is just no confidence in their leadership anymore, right? So for them moving into the idea of a third world country into a quote-unquote first world country, because that's just an illusion within itself. But nonetheless, that's what has to happen. You have dictators. Like I said, we have dictators in Canada, my friends. We have dictators in the United States. They're all dictators, all right? None of them work together through a democracy. They don't, right? Even a democracy is not respected. It's looking at the idea, oh, we're convincing you guys that you have a democracy when you don't, okay? America is a dictatorship. Canada is a dictatorship. The UK is a dictatorship. Australia is a dictatorship. Germany is a dictatorship, okay? Majority of the countries on the planet today are run through dictatorships. They are not run through democracies or republics, okay? That's a fancy little label that they've put on it. Truly, that's what they represent at the heart of things. People have forgotten their laws. People have forgotten their constitutions. People have forgotten their charters. And they are blind to it. And as long as you guys are blind to exactly how your country was established and founded, then people are going to walk all over you, okay? And that's the same thing with Cuba and the Dominican and the DR, okay? Like I said, there have certain forms of dictatorship rulers, and they need to be overthrown. And the people are going to be the ones that have to do that, okay? Now, the momentum ahead for, let's take a look at Cuba first, okay? And I'll do a kind of a short reading on that. What does 2024 hold for Cuba pertaining to what we're talking about here? About elevating themselves into a first world quality of life, right? It's not the easiest question to answer, but we'll see what we can find here. Okay, it looks like they're going to do exactly what I've been sharing here, okay? That's exactly what's happening. The people will have enough. There's going to be such a boiling point that is happening upon the planet that restructuring is going to happen. This is why I call 2024 the year of overhaul. Are all the bricks going to be dismantled? I don't think so, but there's certainly going to be a crippling blow here in 2024, okay? There's going to be a unification coming together here, right? So we have the lovers. We represent Venus here, all right? So basically this is representing the idea of community, of coming together, of working together. Okay, there's synthesis in the background. Here's temperance, okay? So we're seeing all these things culminating, coming together, And the retaliation that they will have is scandals, right? There will be scandals and trying to pretend to move forward into what the people want. But we have to be a little bit more cunning and a little bit more intelligent than that, because this is exactly what they're doing in Canada right now. So, oh, well, so many people have complained that we don't have enough homes. So, hey, you know what, guys? We got federal land, and federal land is bigger, has greater, we have more federal land than anywhere else in Canada, and we'll build homes on it. And that's their strategy. Do you see how stupid they're getting? How desperate they're getting? Cuba is going to see the same thing. Okay? Dominican Republic is going to see the exact same thing. Okay? Let's take a look at the Dominican Republic. Because like I said, they're going to try and push and push and push. And they're going to try and fool you in thinking that they're moving the right way when in fact they're not. And you got to stay on the course, right? You got to stay ahead. You need to progress, guys. We are the ones. We are the gatekeepers. We are the ones that are actually keeping progress here, to actually keep track about what's happening. Okay, it's not your governments. It's not your public servants. Okay, it's you guys. You guys are the ones that are keeping track of the world, right? And we also have to make sure that they are following through with what they are saying. And if not, you get them out of there. Simple as that. So like I said, it's the power of the people coming back. So let's take a look at the Dominican Republic as well too. Okay. Dominican Republic, yeah, it looks like they're kind of moving forward as well too, right? But they have to work together a little bit more, right? Because I'm seeing here that there's still some separation consciousness with some of the people of the DR. Okay. So they're kind of reaching towards the light, but they have to work with teamwork, right? They need to come together. They need to start moving together. They need to start making a difference together. And perhaps behind the scenes that they'll start to get themselves in gear. But right now they need to really go within. They need to do some deep thinking. They need to do some deep analysis. The people need to start moving their own feet. And this is what's going to lead into a bigger change. So I think Cuba may be a little bit more ahead than the DR is. Okay, DR still might need a little bit more time, but they are moving in the right direction. That's the good news. But it just may take a little bit more time for them. Okay? That's what I got for those two countries. So thank you, EUM, for your question. Okay, just going to see if there's another donation here. This one's from Anna. Anna says, question, what can we expect, and thank you, Anna, for your donation, what can we expect the pollution of earth, water, and air to diminish? How we are currently affected physicality and emotionally? Okay, so I have talked about this to certain extents in the past about the cleaning up. Okay, we're going to see a lot of cleaning up this decade. Okay, but in the idea of fresh air, like you can go outside, you're not worried about pollution, probably late 2030s. Okay, if we're looking at the idea of clean water, right, we can go to a lake and we can drink the water, probably late 2030s. Okay, so if we're looking into a much more of an improved cleanup of the planet, you're probably going to have to wait another decade and a half for that. Okay, so I'm estimating late 2030s. It could even move into the early 2040s. But there needs to be more innovations, right? There's a young man who basically has created a company that is basically going out into the oceans and retracting all of the plastics of the oceans, right? And that's one big company that's doing that. Okay, we need about 50 to 100 of those. Right now we have one. Not good enough, okay? We need about 50 or 100 of those particular types of companies. Or again, a much more larger fleet for that to happen. Because the whole world is polluted. Our oceans are full. You could basically make land masses out of all the garbage and junk that has been put into the oceans. Okay, you could probably make another continent out of that. So that again is why there needs to be a lot more reinforcement there. And I feel like in the years ahead, we're going to see a lot more of that. We need to start creating technology that basically will filtrate the air, taking all the metals and toxins and contaminants and pollutants out of the air. Basically making air filters as large as skyscrapers and being able to filtrate the air, right? So kind of looking at those gigantic HEPA filters or something of that nature, right? But even more advanced because it's actually taking the metals out of the air. And again, that's a significant amount of overhead that needs to be done. So that could be early 2040s. I don't know if it's late 2030s, but it could be late 2030s, early 2040s. But we're basically looking at another decade and a half to 2 decades before we start seeing major cleanup of the planet actually happening. Okay, 2020s, early mid 2030s, there will be plans for this. But again, we have to get the saboteurs out of the way. because they will sabotage that type of technology. They want to try and keep people in a base level, low vibration. That's why originally the 5G that was being rolled out was broadcasting at 60 hertz. And they were trying to keep you at that level. It's a very low band of frequency. And from what I've heard, they're now starting to change a lot of the 5G towers from 60 hertz to 432 hertz, which is the frequency of the sun. Okay? So there's changes taking place, and that's wonderful to see, but there's still a lot of work to be done, guys. I know we want just snap our fingers and next year everything's good. Not going to happen. Okay? All this stuff needs to progress itself through within, I would say, the next 2 decades. Okay? Pertaining to environmental cleanup, we have to go and we have to clean up the land. Can we continue to live with landfills? Can we continue to live with polluting water, drinking supply? No, guys, that takes a lot of effort to change. And there's a lot of demand for it, but there's not enough supply. That's got to change. Okay? There needs to be businesses, institutions, perhaps nonprofit organizations that are coming together, developing technologies and saying, okay, we will clean the air, country to country, country to country, country to country, country to country. We will go in and we will clean up drinking supplies, right? We will clean up drinking water. We will offer fresh drinking water. We will create new supplies. We will create new technologies that will do this. City to city, county to county, state to state, province to province, country to country, country to country, country to country. That's an enormous undertaking because majority of the places on the planet are polluted and toxic. Okay, we look at Chernobyl with the nature of radiation cleanup. There's technology that can clean that up altogether. Scalar is one of them. Okay, but we need to develop the technology. We need to develop a business or nonprofit organization or an institution of some sort that has Scalar and can go into Chernobyl, and within about 2 days, radiation's gone. We can do that with Scalar. Okay, but this is the whole idea. We have ideas, right? But we have to plan them into sufficient agencies, institutions, businesses, right? Whatever it may be, organizations, and getting it out there and cleaning up the planet. And that is going to take a couple of decades. Okay? It just is. We would love to see things done like that. It's not going to happen. Okay? So it's being able to look at the collective consciousness, because I'm tuning into this, guys, as I'm talking, but I'm not just bullshitting you here with my own rhetoric. Okay, I'm tuning into these things and say, okay, probably late 2030s, early 2040s, we can see something like that happen, because it does get done, right? But we're in the stage right now of where these things are just ideas. They're ideas, and they may start to be blueprinted, but they still need to be developed into appropriate technologies to which the public is made aware of, so that there can be more and more opportunities, if you could say franchises or more organizations, to come together to use this technology to help clean up the planet. Okay? Will it happen? Yes, but it's going to take more time. Right? How are we currently affected physically and emotionally? Well, again, like I said, if we're looking at the 5G technology the way it was, this is all part of bombardments when we looked at the chemtrails as the way it was. And I think chemtrails are going to be changing very soon as well too, because I think that they'll be moving much more into a healthier elixir on the planet, right? Actually cleaning up the skies. And I've actually got this constantly through the tarot deck. When I've looked at the chemtrails, they're getting a cleanup job. Okay, 5G is getting a cleanup job, and the chemtrails are getting a cleanup job. Okay. But in the old days, 5G was being used to keep people at a base vibration. Chemtrails, like pharmaceutical drugs, being sprayed all across the skies, keeping people sick and ill. Right? We have technologies. We have EMF, ELFs, okay, all around the house, basically keeping you in a low vibration. Okay? So a lot of things need to be changed pertaining to the grid. And with these things that have been affecting our bodies, this is basically causing mutations in DNA, and this is what's prevented your body from actually utilizing the appropriate DNA code it requires for your body to actually clean itself up. It can't contact the refineries of your body to clean up and refine certain compounds that are contained in the body, like folic acid. Right? Folic acid can easily be transmuted into methylfolate. when your genes are operational, your methylation genes. When those methylation genes are mutated, that can happen through EMF, ELF, that can happen through toxic food. That can happen through the idea of coming into this world because your parents have mutated genes on that level as well too. Okay? There's all kinds of issues, my friends. Now again, we can certainly reverse it because a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with Aetherx can reverse a lot of those things. A lot of things I'm doing in regards to teaching you guys about simple practices, right? Working with yourself, healing yourself can reverse a lot of those things, but you have to do them, okay? And I'm only one guy, right? There's only so much that I can personally do. I would love to see thousands of people doing what I'm doing, right? And basically creating technology that works with the ether, right? Not electromagnetic, but actually working with the ether. That's exactly what Nikola Tesla was starting to do before he left this world, okay? Needs to be much more etheric technology coming out because that is the true technology that heals you, all right? Just like what I'm doing with Aetherx, all right? So thank you, Anna. We do have a bit of a ways to go, but it is happening. That's the good news. Okay, so thank you again, guys, for your donation-based questions. I appreciate that. Okay. Sean asks, this is just something I'm seeing at the bottom of the chat here. Sean is asking, Brad, is wearing polyester clothing toxic? Cotton wears very fast and is damp on the body, I find, so I wear lots of fleece and polyester underwear rather than cotton. It can be because, I mean, basically, if you're looking at polyester is what's the word? The word is on the edge of my tongue here. It's petro, right? It's not good for you. Okay, it's a petroleum product. There it is, a petroleum product. So no, it's not really good. And like I said, this is why I wanted to change the Prana bed kits because they were only available in polyester, and I know that was not good in the long run. So this is why they've been discontinued. And again, the Taurus bed kits are 100% pure cotton. Okay, you may want to look into hemp. You may want to look into bamboo. Okay, cotton is fine, but polyester. If it's something that you're just basically wearing in a crunch, then it probably won't hurt you, right? If you're wearing it in the very short term, it probably will not harm you. The good news about the polyester of the Prana beds is that it's helping to cancel out all of the toxins pertaining to the polyester so that it would not harm you, okay? But of course, not every single company does that. Aetherx is the only one that does that when the Prana bed kits were around, okay? So unfortunately, they don't work with those codes. They don't work with the ether. So if you're working with polyester clothing long term, you better think twice about that. Okay, long term, you can basically get cancerous effects. Polyester in the long term. Again, I'm not talking about the Aetherx. If you guys still have the Prana bed, you're fine because it clears away. It cancels out a lot of the polyester effects from what the Aetherx technology does for those who have the Prana bed kits. Okay, unprotected non-Aetherx polyester in the long term, if you're constantly wearing it for years and years, it can build up toxins in your skin. Okay, it can cause skin cancer, right? But this again is why they try to roll these things out, because it's a long-term debilitation. Okay, so it's a long-term debilitation pertaining to wearing polyester shirts or any other particular type of polyester wear that's not Aetherx, right? Non-Aetherx polyester wear will in time give you cancer. Okay, because it is a toxin. All right, so that's important to remember. So if you're wearing cotton, great. If you're wearing hemp or bamboo, great. Okay, look into much more of the organic clothing. I'm sure there's probably 20, 30 people here who can give you some good ideas about better clothing to wear than polyester. Okay, a polyester underwear, for example, if you're wearing that for long term, that's basically going to make you infertile. Okay, it's going to make you impotent. It's going to basically have you lose your drive. Your sexual drive is being contaminated with toxins. Okay, in the long term. I'm not saying like you're wearing it for a week and that's it. You should be fine. But if you're wearing that same pair of underwear for a matter of months or even into a couple of years, if it lasts that long, right, you can have long-term damage pertaining to your reproductive system, right, to your genitals, again, to skin cancers, to organs as well too. It's toxic. Okay. And if you don't have Aetherx codes that are preventing that, you better get off that stuff right away. Okay? That's basically just what I'm getting to tell you guys. Okay? Let's see here. So there are some people who are asking me, Christine here asks, I don't know how or if I can get Rumble. I've been listening to you for a couple of years now, etc. Okay, thank you, Christine. if you guys cannot get Rumble, I will see what I can do about that. Okay, I may be able to download each episode and put that on a Google Drive so you guys can watch it. Okay, so you guys can let me know. I know certain countries don't get Rumble. Okay, I know France, for example, doesn't get Rumble. So again, if you guys are having problems with that, I don't think it'll be a problem if I download an episode and I would put it up on the Telegram. Okay, you guys need to follow the Signpost Telegram though in order for you to get that recorded episode. Okay, so make sure you guys are on the Telegram group. Okay, you'll find it right in the video description here on this video. Okay, it says new Signpost Telegram group, join for free, and you'll see the link there. Get on the Telegram group. Okay, if you're on the Telegram group and you say, Brad, sir, I can't watch Rumble, then I'll see if I can download that onto Google Drive and I will paste the link in the Signposts Telegram group. You've got to be in the Telegram group to get it though. Okay, very important. All right, so and thank you, Christine, for that. Appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna probably wrap up with one or two more questions, and we're gonna wrap up. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go up to the top here. Let me see here. So I worked with NP's Portugal question. Okay, and I've answered Reba's question as well too. So this one here is from AK. AK says, hi Brad, what can you see about the Polish new Prime Minister and the new cabinet? Okay, so let's take a look at Poland with the new Polish Prime Minister and the new Polish cabinet. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so what is ahead for the new Polish Prime Minister and the new Polish cabinet under his watch? Possibility of scandals with him. I'm not too sure though. I don't think it's going to happen right away, but there could be a possibility with scandals or attacks with him in that way. I'm not too sure if those scandals are going to go one way or the other. Maybe he's not doing a good job and the people are scandalizing him, or maybe he's doing such a good job that the old guard is trying to scandal him. Okay. So King of Cups, this feels like kind of a very emotional person, right? This feels like someone who maybe thinks a lot more with his gut, so to speak. Okay, he may be very emotionally centered as well too. The world is basically saying, this is from what the cards are saying, this is a very good choice for a prime minister in regards to where Poland needs to go. Okay, it's a good choice for a prime minister and a good choice for a cabinet in regards to where Poland needs to go. Okay, now please remember that looking at something like that, for example, with Barack Obama, would basically be the same kind of reading. It was the appropriate president that needed to come through in regards to where the United States needed to go. Doesn't mean it's all rainbows and sunshine. It's just appropriate that that is exactly where Poland needs to go. Okay, so there's strength, there's encouragement. Right, this person is not afraid to stand up for himself. Of course, you kind of need that out of a leader, right? So it feels like it is a strong base. It feels like there's a strong foundation put in place. But then I see this here in the near future, okay? And then I see this as well too. So maybe it starts off really good, but maybe there's some things that unravel that may not be too appealing to see, okay? So maybe he gets involved with scandals, or something else happens pertaining to a scandal that he's caught in the middle of, that his cabinet is in the middle of. So like I said, you guys just have to keep an eye on such leaders, right? And if they are not doing the work that they are trying to say that they are doing, you need to call them out on it, okay? Like I said, you guys need to be the safeguards. So things don't look too bad, but again, I can't really speak for the near future, okay? The near future, he may be pulling something, or again, there may be an opportunity that if he's doing a good job, something may be trying to scandalize him, okay? So I feel like the new leader of Poland will have a bit of a bumpy road ahead, okay? Either he's going to show some bumps in his own road, or he's going to have some bumps in his road ahead for him, okay? So that's something that you need to kind of keep an eye out for, all right? Okay, guys, we're going to do one more question, then we're going to wrap up, so I'm just going to see if we can find a really good one to end on. Okay, this is a good one here for Clear Mind. So I'm going to end with Clear Mind's question here. Clear Mind says, hi Brad, on a previous live, you mentioned that there could be theft of bank accounts. If that does happen, will the money ever be returned? Okay, so let's take a look at that. We're going to look at that through the cards once again. Okay, about the ATM agenda, all right, or the theft of bank accounts. Okay, so basically I could look at and saying for 2024, are we seeing a possibility of thievery of people's bank accounts? And if so, will the money be able to be returned to them? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so is there thievery of bank accounts? There is certainly a possibility of that. Okay. Again, I do feel like it's a small group, though, that are going to get hit with it. I don't think it's going to be monumental in that way. It feels like a small, select group of people are going to get hit with bank account thievery, because I think it's going to get stopped very quickly. And I do feel like there's going to be reimbursement. Yes. Okay. But there may also be scandals, like I said, with ATMs. Okay. So this is the question in regards to people's bank accounts, right? Is there going to be thievery involved, right? So this is kind of letting you know regarding your institution. Be on guard with that, okay? Because they are going to attempt that. I don't know if they'll succeed. It may not even succeed. That's great if it doesn't. But it's just good for you guys to be on high alert, okay, relating to your funds in your bank account. I don't care if you have a local bank account or if you have a nationwide bank account. You are still vulnerable. Okay, doesn't really matter. As long as you have a bank account, period, you're vulnerable. Right? So we got the Knight of Pentacles here in the past. So this can represent people's savings as well too, right? To make sure you're on guard with your savings. And of course we have the Three of Pentacles again. So this is again people working together with each other, right? If there's any reports of bank account theft in that sense, people are notifying one another, right? So there's support and assistance to making sure that that does not happen. But I feel like even if it does happen, there's going to be reimbursement, okay? So there certainly will be reimbursement here. So like I said, keep a watchful eye out. Everything feels like it's going to be okay. That's the good news, okay? So even though they're trying to do this, like I said, it's going to be for a very small amount of people. And even if those people get hit, I feel like they'll be able to get reimbursed, okay? But it feels like it's just something that they've been trying to pull, right? They basically did this in a way with the Freedom Convoys as well too. Not really in the way of taking money out of people's banks account, but preventing people from actually donating to the Freedom Convoys, right? I was one of them. And they were basically trying to halt my own transactions and all that stuff so that I couldn't give it to the Freedom Convoys, right? So they pulled something similar to that. But this would be the idea of them trying to take money out, because if they're basically going to be cut, that's like the heads of the snake is going to get cut off. Right? And they're going to be cut off from Canada. That's the good news. They're going to be cut off from the United States in time. Okay? So Canada, they will not be able to weasel any money out of. The United States, they will not be able to weasel any money out of. So what they do, they will go ahead and they will try to hack bank accounts. Okay? And like I said, I think only a small amount of people will be affected because they're going to be cut off very, very quickly from doing that. But I feel like they are still trying to do that. Okay? It may be that I'm incorrect with this and that they may not happen at all. Let's hope I'm wrong about that. I don't want something like that to come to pass, so I'm fine if I'm wrong, but nonetheless, the event is there. Okay, the event is there pertaining to them trying to hack into bank accounts, into people's bank accounts, right, and try to take a great deal of money. They're not really going to go after the low income people, okay? It's going to be people more closer to like the middle and the upper class, right? People who have a certain good amount of money in their bank accounts are the ones they're going to go after. They're not going after the low income, right? Low income people, you really have nothing to worry about, okay? This is more for the middle class or middle upper class in that particular way or higher. That's really what they're going to go for because that's where the money is. They're not going to waste their time on low income bank accounts, okay? It's going to go to middle class or it's going to go to middle upper class or upper class and take money out of that, okay? So I would say the middle class primarily would be the ones who would be targeted, okay? But like I said, I feel it's only a small amount of people. And even if you're targeted, reimbursement will take place, I feel, from what I'm getting here from the cards. Okay? So thank you guys. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Signposts today. So again, next week, we will be on Rumble. Okay? So like I said, you can just go to rumble.com just type in through the search bar the Signposts, Brad Johnson. I'll see if I can just do that right now before I go. Just make sure you guys can do that. Okay. If I go to Rumble and go to the Signposts. Okay. Let's see. Yes, actually mine is there. So it's the video that says the Signposts are coming to Rumble. Okay. So just type that up in the search bar. The Signposts are coming to Rumble. Type that into the search bar on Rumble. My video will be the first one there. Okay, so I just put up a short video on my Rumble channel, and it's available there for you guys. So again, just go there and you can follow along there. Like I said, for those of you who cannot get Rumble in your country, you have to let me know. Okay, and it's best to let me know through the Telegram group, through the Signpost Telegram group, which is in the video description. Make sure you join it. Okay. If you say, Brad, I don't get the broadcast, I will put it on Google Drive. I will give you guys the link and you guys can download the episode, okay? But you need to be on the Telegram group in order for me to do that. So thank you guys. See you next week for Rumble, for the Signposts, okay? Tomorrow I will be back for New Earth TV Live this Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. We're going to do another Adronos transmission. We're going to do some Q&A and some distance healing as well too for tomorrow's broadcast. So I will see you all then. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar. Be well, all of you. Take care, and bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to New Earth Teachings on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can do private sessions with me, and also Aetherx.co. And through Aetherx, you'll be able to pick up your Healing Code Cards body deck, your mind deck, and your energy deck through Aetherx. You will also be able to pick up the Aetherbed kit. That is also on Aetherx as well. Not to mention that you'll also be able to pick up some apparel and accessories that is also available on Aetherx. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar, and may it be well with you.